Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to share 5 amazing and incredible facts about Coeur d'Alene. Even if you grew up here, you might not know about some of these. Stick around.
Hi, we are Kristen and Seth Horst with 10-8 Real Estate Team.
And we're both full-time realtors serving all of North Idaho. In this video, we are going to give you 5 amazing facts, and the last one is going to blow your mind. Even if you grew up here, you will be surprised. Stick around.
All right, number 1. What do you have for us, Seth?
All right, this one kind of surprised me. Did you know that Coeur d'Alene was the scene of race riots in the 1960s?
What? No.
You didn't know that. I know. It's not the kind of race riots that were going on elsewhere in the country in the 60s. Coeur d'Alene was the scene of hydroplane races. So these souped up speedboats would come out and they would race right off Tubbs Hill, and people would stand out there and watch the races. It was very common. It started in the 60s. However, at the same time, every summer these kids would come out. It was usually younger people. They would drink a bunch and get real rowdy. So the first year that this happened, there were, I think, several hundred arrests. They called it the Coeur d'Alene race riots. Once again, not the type of race riots going on in the 60s elsewhere. And they continued for a few years with the hydroplane races. Eventually, the hydroplane races were canceled due to financial reasons, though some people were saying that they were canceled because of the riots. However, nothing crazy ever really happened with it. Some property damage, lots of arrests, lots of drunk partying kids. But that one surprised me. Didn't know that was going on.
So was that happening over there on off of Tubbs Hill?
Yes, that was off of Tubbs Hill, downtown, like in that area in front of the resort downtown is where the races were going on.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's a push to bring them back. So I don't know if we'll see that in the future or not. Be cool. All right. Number 2, the name Coeur d'Alene. Do you know where that name comes from?
I have heard about it in the past, I believe, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, you're supposed to say, no, I don't know.
Okay.
Because they don't know. Maybe they don't know. All right.
Maybe.
Coeur d'Alene, and I know it's spelled crazy. Good luck spelling that your first few times. It means heart of the awl. That's the little tool, A-W-L. And that comes from, in the 18th and 19th century, French trappers, obviously it's a French word, they named the local natives tribe, the Coeur d'Alene tribe, because their trading skills were so sharp. So they were such shrewd, that's a lot of S's, such shrewd tradespeople that these French trappers thought that they had hearts like an awl, like a sharp tool. So that's where that name comes from.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Coincidentally, there is a drink at the downtown coffee shop, Coeur d'Alene Coffee Co. You better check it out if you're here visiting. It is called Heart of the Awl.
Yep, I've had it. It's pretty good. It's
really good. Check it out.
Number 3.
You did the 3.
I did the 3. All right, lay it on us.
Okay, number 3. Prior to being the resort, the location downtown had a place called Playland Pier. So it functioned from the 1940s into the 1970s, and then it was demolished, and then the resort was built that we all know today. So Playland Pier had a lot of cool things. It had, obviously, it was a big pier that came out of the water. It had a Ferris wheel, carousel, mini roller coaster, some swings that went out over the water. Obviously, the beaches were there. They had concessions, arcades. It was probably like the coolest thing ever growing up here. To go down there in the summertime and enjoy all of that.
That sounds incredibly fun.
Oh, totally.
I feel like they should put some of that back. But...
Yes, right. It would be that small time vibe.
Yeah.
And a cool little fact about that, the carousel was sold off when they demolished it, and it moved out of state. And some downtown organization bought it back, and they brought it back, and it is now still back downtown.
By the Fort Grounds?
Yep, by the Fort Grounds Park, by the baseball field downtown. So you can still go ride it. A little bit of history.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to number 4, and this one is very cool.
It is cool, and we have a personal story to go with it.
Yeah.
I'm cheating a little bit on this, I will be honest, because this is not Lake Coeur d'Alene. It is a nearby lake, Lake Ponderay, which is north of here. The city of Sandpoint is on the shore of that. In Bayview on Lake Ponderay, there is a U.S. naval submarine base. They do underwater acoustic testing on scale models of submarines, and then that technology is brought into our nuclear subs out in the ocean.
That's really cool, and
mind-blowing.
They do it there because isn't that lake really deep?
Yes. So Ponderay is 43 miles long and 1,158 feet deep. It's the fifth deepest lake in the United States.
Cool.
Crazy deep. So who knows what lives down in there?
So I have, driving around that lake before, I have literally seen, what is it called, a periscope?
Periscope.
Coming out of the water, and like, I saw it, my son saw it, and then it dipped back down. But Seth's telling me that... Through
my research, I found out that all of the submarines on Lake Ponderay are unmanned, which would make me believe that they don't need periscopes because there's no one in there to look up the periscope. However, they are doing acoustic testing, and that is a normal thing on a normal submarine, so maybe they are on there. Another cool little fact, they have several sizes of submarines that they're operating in the lake there. The biggest one is like 111 feet. It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah. So those things are creeping around down at the bottom of the lake.
That creeps me out when we're on the lake. I'm thinking, what? They could be underneath me, looking at me.
They're zooming around down there. They're all electric powered on Ponderay, and they have this huge array of underwater sensors, and they sense acoustic sensing for different props and rudders and things like that to see what is the quietest. So that's what they're doing. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All right, let's get the drum roll going for number 5.
I'm super excited about this one. And I want to know, if you grew up here and you knew about this, comment down below. If not, I'd love to hear that too, because this one really blew my mind. Did you know there is a sunken Viking ship in Lake Coeur?
What? How did that get there, Seth?
Good question. Admittedly, it is a replica because it was not from actual Vikings. I don't know if they ever made it out this far. It was a replica Viking ship. It was donated to the Boy Scouts in the 1980s. They took it out.
Nice.
Yes, they took it out. 80s were good times. This was when you could go do stuff like that. They took this boat out in the water and it sank. And it sank right off of Arrow Point over by Gosser Marina, which is on the east side of the lake, kind of across the way from Coeur downtown.
Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison.
Yeah.
So this boat is in about 45 feet of water. I have a friend that has personally scuba dived it, and says it's in fantastic condition because the water's cold. So that boat is still down there and you can dive it and go check it out. It's super cool. Mm-hmm. So I did a little more research and I found out that Lake Coeur is actually a graveyard of sunken boats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, well, probably a graveyard too. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, the steamships were huge here. So that's how people got around. That's how things were traded across the lake. Commerce was moved, logging, all of this stuff. So there were tons of steamboats. Some of them were very big. One of them could hold 1,000 people. It was huge.
Yeah, that's big. And
check out how they got rid of these boats at the end.
How?
Good question. I'm glad you asked.
I'm just here for questions.
They gave them Viking burials. So they'd light them on fire, push them out into the middle of the lake, and then eventually they would sink in glorious fashion.
Ooh.
And they're down there.
I love it.
Super cool.
I'd love to see that.
Well, that's all. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed these 5 amazing facts about the Coeur d'Alene area. I know one of them wasn't Coeur d'Alene, but it's close enough. If you have questions, if you need help with any real estate transactions, please reach out to us. Our information is at the end of the video. It is also on our YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed and you've made it this far in the video, hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave us a comment. I'm done.